are you?
I'm great.
Good.
I apologize in advance. I had coffee, so I might be a little bit of a lot.
You know, I am struggling to wake up at noon on a Sunday.
Well, I woke up around like 9:30,
Yeah, you did.
and then I had coffee because I knew I had a lot of things I wanted to do today.
Yeah. I rolled out of bed a half an hour before we were supposed to start this thing, and then it took another hour on top of that.
Yes.
But we're here. It's Sunday. It's Goose Chase. We have podcast dogs. Today it's happening.
Yes.
It is Mother's Day.
Hopefully, yes, it is. Happy Mother's Day to those who celebrate, and happy normal lazy Sunday to everybody else.
Yeah.
Because I care about you all too.
I'll just briefly talk about it. But I intend to see my mom today.
Mm-hmm.
During a time when the state of Ohio says you probably should still stay home, and I feel guilty about it, but I'm coming clean.
But also, let's be honest and clear about the fact that you're not going over her house and giving her a big hug and
No.
being all up in her business.
No, we're gonna be outside. My sister will be there with her baby too,
Which will be the first time you get to see him in person.
which is so exciting to me.
You already know you're gonna cry.
I'm going to cry. I'm gonna have to bring tissues to meet this baby.
Yeah, I mean, so he was born in March.
Yeah.
In the midst of all of this. And so no one except your mom and stepdad, and of course your sister and her significant other, Dakota, whose child it is, have really gotten to interact with him.
Yeah, right.
So it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
This whole thing has changed everything.
I know I'm going to get weepy just seeing my family again.
That's okay. I've seen my mom a couple times. I've dropped stuff off. I've picked stuff up. Yesterday, I bought her a pizza from West Side Bowl because she mentioned she really wanted to try it. They have a pickle pizza.
Yeah.
And it had been going around Facebook especially. A lot of groups, I'm sure this is everywhere, but a lot of groups have popped up like Mahoning County Takeout, Trumbull County Takeout. Because, everyone's just doing takeout now,
Right.
all the restaurants. So it's kind of a place for people to be like, oh, I had this, it's good. Or for the businesses themselves to be like, here are our specials today if you want to take advantage of them. And West Side Bowl comes up a lot because they're doing cool stuff. I think we mentioned before that they have, the pizzas they're giving away.
Yeah.
People will pay ahead for pizzas. And so a lot of people have been talking about them. They're a really good business. They were before this happened, and they continue to be.
Yeah. I said to you the other day, the town has selected them for not just survival, but...
To put this in perspective, they had been opening at 4 p.m. because the takeout business had gotten so busy for them, and the wait times were getting a little ridiculous, and they weren't proud of that. They decided to open 2 extra hours, open at 2 instead of 4.
Right.
So yesterday I called, the whole thing is I told my mom I was going to buy her one of these pizzas for Mother's Day, and so she could try it because I know she won't go pick it up herself on the other side of town. And I know she doesn't really know how to order from Uber Eats and stuff like that.
Right.
And someone like my brother who lives there could and would do it for her, but she wouldn't ask. So I'm like, let me just do this for you because I know you want to try it and I want you to try it. And I'm going to get one for me and Dave because we want to have it too.
Yeah.
So that's my plan. It's been the plan for a week. I get my text from my brother the day before, day of, oh, you're getting pizza for Mom? I was going to do that.
And thus a battle of kindness began.
As it always does in my family.
Where only one can win and be the kind one. No, that's not what happened.
So the solution was he would get them some wings to go with their food. And I would pick everything up and deliver it because that was my plan anyway. Mm-hmm. And he called when they opened at 2 to place an order for 4 or a little bit before 4. And he had to call twice because the first time it was busy. And even when the call was answered, he was put on hold twice during the call.
Yeah.
That's how busy they were at 2.
Yeah, right.
I called at 2:06. I called 4 or 5 times in a row, straight busy signal. waited 15 minutes, called back, got through. Their orders were already filled up until 4.
Right. So, like, basically, the takeaway here is Youngstown's, already good guy business. Like already our like hero of a business is like they can't even keep up with the additional time.
Right, and I'm not mad about any of this, about the fact that it's more complicated to get an order, about the fact that I have to wait a little bit.
It's great news.
Yeah, even when they told me, like, it might be a little after 4, I was like, if I have to stand there and wait for a minute, I'll wait for a minute.
Yeah.
If I have to go to my car and wait for a minute, I'll wait for a minute. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, that's good for you guys. But I went and I did that, and I brought the pizza over, and they enjoyed their food, and that was great. But, like, not hugging my mom.
I know.
I don't get to hug my mom for Mother's Day. I also drew her a picture of her dogs. I said Happy Mom's Day on it and sent that to her today. She really liked it, by the way.
I was considering, how insane is this? I was like, it's Mother's Day. I'm going to go visit my mom. I want to hug my mom. Is there a way for us to hold our breath and then approach from like 20 feet away, come together for a hug, then get 20 feet away again, and then exhale? Is that safe?
Yeah.
How insane is the world?
It's really tough. It's really, really tough.
Like,
there's no, we don't know. There's like no
I know.
way to know what's okay and what's not okay.
Ohio has a pretty good idea right now as far as ramping up testing, using, case tracking to try and figure out where like small clusters are, and increasing capacity for both those things over like a 4-week period.
Yeah.
While watching the numbers of cases come in. Like, Ohio has some good ideas.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like we stand a chance here of doing okay for the next 4 weeks, but we don't know.
Yeah. It's tough. And on that note, we've been continuing to just like do everything we can to keep ourselves distracted and happy. We played Monster of the Week again last night, which was super fun. I mean, our group has dealt with things like Wendigos and werewolves. And then last night we were bested by 3 cobras, regular cobras. We tried to shoot them.
Yep.
Everybody missed. Your character got
No, not everybody. I killed 2 of those cobras.
True. Mortally wounded.
Yeah.
Everybody didn't miss. We all at different times rolled very poorly. And you got shot in the foot by someone who was trying to shoot the snakes but panicked and shot you.
It's really funny because
You also got bit by a snake.
I wanted to, like, I was saying before this, like, I was like, I got to figure out a way to, like, really get the professor involved more, because sometimes I feel like I don't know exactly what to do. So I'm like, all right, here's my golden moment.
I have a gun. I'll shoot the snake.
Shoot cobras with a shotgun.
With buckshot.
And, of course, then got bit, and then got shot in the foot, and then had me carted away to the hospital.
My character tried to do something really cool and teleport you to the hospital and completely failed. So to everyone else, I'm just like, we're going to the hospital now. Retreat. Fend for yourselves. And then I grabbed you, looked real intense, and nothing happened. Meanwhile, earlier in this little saga, I appeared behind a locked door right behind her shoulder in front of everyone. Nobody noticed or cared.
Right.
I proved I can do this.
That was really funny.
But I tried to do it in the heat of the moment and nothing fucking happened.
That was really funny. That was great because I was trying to ignore everybody, and then I just turn around and you're there.
Yes.
As is Alma's weird way.
Yeah, that's one of my character's things is she's like the weird old lady on campus that's everywhere. And everyone is kind of annoyed by it, but also just sort of ignores it.
Can we talk about the flush for a minute?
I know you really want to.
I'm dying to talk about the flush some more.
Explain what this is.
This is the best, it's a golden day for America, is what it is.
Okay.
Very recently, maybe Friday, not sure. So the Supreme Court has been having to, these dogs are like battling to the death over here.
Yes. If you hear weird sounds, it's them fighting in the background.
Yeah, Leroy's just basically like he's got Bo essentially on the ropes. He's like standing on two legs. And
He's gonna fall over.
He's about to hump him, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Go for it, dude.
Bo won't let him.
No. There. Wow.
Oh, all right. Well,
Actually,
that's the furthest that's gotten. Nice.
And now they're just going around the coffee table in circles. Anyway, no one cares about that. Here's what matters.
I want to hear about this flush.
So because the Supreme Court is handling, like taking cases differently during all this, they're all at home, right? And like the recordings of these are being like, broadcast on C-SPAN as a result, right? Mm-hmm. And so something amazing happened the other day, which is in the middle of the case they're currently hearing. So like the way that they're doing it is justices are getting selected in seniority order to ask questions, right? So Stephen Breyer gets a chance to ask his questions or whatever, and then Sonia Sotomayor is next, right? Mm-hmm. And during Sotomayor's questioning, and I can't remember who was speaking to, who she was questioning. It almost really doesn't matter. In the middle of her questioning or his answering, there is a series of sounds. Mm-hmm. But the big one, the noticeable one, is a toilet flushing.
Yes.
So someone over at Slate wrote a really funny, they went all gumshoe on
I'm
it.
telling you, that person is just so bored because there's not a lot happening. There's a lot happening, but not that hasn't already been discussed to death.
Right. I mean, there's a lot to, I don't know, if you really want to, you can make quite a meal out of this. And
they did.
So the question is, whose was the flush? With all of these justices on the phone call, plus all these other interested parties.
And here's the thing to put this in perspective of like, it is kind of to be expected that people are working from home. People are going to multitask.
Oh, yeah.
But also, it's an important job. And if you were in person doing your job, you would not be going to the bathroom at the same time. Like, you have the potential, you have the capability of holding it.
Right.
And we know you do. Because you don't shit yourself at the Supreme Court hearings regularly.
We don't know that.
That's true. There's no way for me to really know that. Mm-hmm. I almost said something real weird. Glassing by that. So, like, I don't know. On the one hand, I'm like, treat it like it's your normal job and take it with the importance that it always has been.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's like, I get it. You're now working from home. And now you have like the responsibilities of home that you never really did before because you weren't in the house. So now you're like doing your dishes while you're on this hearing.
Right. Which is actually, that's another one of the things that is heard on the call is someone doing dishes. And this is like typical work from home stuff. Like, come on, dogs, easy. Come on. When you work from home and you're in your home environment, home stuff bleeds into your work stuff. It's just not possible to totally separate it, Oh my God.
Okay, that was not an invitation for you to get closer and fight.
Yeah, they've decided to come over here now and snarl at each other. That's great. Good podcasting.
Leroy, sit. Boba, sit.
You know what? Hold on a minute. We're going to take a break. Okay, so that's that dealt with. The dogs are upstairs behind a fortified wall of chairs. Anyway. What the hell was I saying?
We were talking about the sounds that you hear on the Supreme Court hearing call, which is the typical things that you do when you work from home and you have to take a call.
Right. So some of that is just like to be expected. Like, people walking around opening and closing doors and dogs barking and stuff like that. Like, that's normal. But it's the series of sounds that culminates in a toilet flush is so funny.
Yes.
To me.
And also, like, if I had to be on any conference call, I would not go to the bathroom during it. No. Especially if I knew it was going to be televised.
The one time that we had a toilet flush on a call at my job, no one stopped talking about it for like a week. It was a big deal of who did the flushing.
That's so funny.
The guy who was talking at the time actually went around to people and was just like, just so you know, that wasn't me. Like well, I mean, because he had to message people online, but he was going around being like, guys, that wasn't me. I wasn't on the toilet, So the mystery of all of this is, I guess, a little bit spoiled right now because I've just said it. But this person at Slate tracked it down to, they're pretty sure it was Stephen Breyer.
Yeah.
And the reasons for this are like numerous, and there's like all this deduction involved, and there's also like waveforms of the, like they took waveforms of the audio and look at me like, you can tell.
This person mutes. That person mutes when they're not talking.
Right.
He never seems to mute himself.
We can tell he didn't mute.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg is in a hospital, so it wasn't her.
Right.
Yeah. And so he deduces that it was probably this person, and that person never seems to mute.
Yeah.
Which would make him a likely culprit.
He demonstrates like a years long issue of not knowing how to do things like mute his cell phone and stuff like that. He just doesn't seem to get tech. Mm-hmm. Which makes all of this so great. And okay, so also they go through the audio a second time. Basically, they go through and listen to the events leading up to the flush to determine what must have happened. And they note that you can't hear, and if someone was peeing, you would hear the pee.
Yeah.
Peeing is that gets picked up on a microphone, but you might not hear a poop.
My favorite part of this is that so we heard the dishwashing sounds.
Yeah.
So he infers that approximately
it's like 45 it's like 47 minutes later.
Yeah, minutes before the bathroom goings on, you hear he probably ate a meal.
Yeah.
And then he had his line of questioning.
Yeah.
So which is a safe time to not be in the spotlight. And then
the
you hear the things that the writer points out.
Right. There's you could listening to the audio here, depending on what exactly you make of the sound, a person sitting down.
You hear someone getting up, you hear a toilet seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it sounds like a toilet seat dropping. And then you hear some other sounds. I'll let you get into this because you're so delighted.
I'm so excited. There is an audible plop. Mm-hmm. There is a plop.
There's supposedly two, and the first one's too quiet. I couldn't really hear it, but the second one.
The first plop that I'm like, okay, that's dicey. I'm not so sure that's a plop, but the second plop,
that was a plop.
That's
solid
a plop. Definitely a plop.
Talking about this, guys.
Lid goes down.
Shit.
Toilet flushes.
Yep. That's it.
I think I can stop talking about this now, but
you're just delighted by this for a reason I don't necessarily completely understand.
It makes me very happy that a Supreme Court justice's poop was aired on C-SPAN in 2020.
Yeah. It's a very important poop.
A supreme poop.
The supremacist. The thing that makes me happy about it is the amount of work that journalist put into it. Right. And I often dislike Slate. Slate annoys the piss out of me sometimes.
Why is that?
Because one time they wrote a really I'm sure it wasn't even the same person.
Wait, hold on. Slate annoys you sometimes because one time.
Yes. I hold grudges.
Okay.
Against whole organizations because one person had a shitty take.
They annoy me sometimes because one time.
Well, there have been other articles they wrote that I'm like, okay, you're just trying to have an angle on this, and I don't like it. But it was about the outdated thing of putting two spaces after a period, and they used to do that because of the kerning of typewriters and lack thereof. And then once we moved to word processors and computers, you didn't have to do that anymore, but the people still teaching it, that's what they knew, so they taught it.
As a convention,
Well, the take that this person had on it was that you're stupid if you still use two spaces. And it annoyed me because
mean.
I went to school in the early 2000s. I graduated high school in 2006.
Yeah.
This article came out in 2013.
Yeah.
Until that article, until like it, and it became like a big take at the time for some reason. I had never heard not to do that. I had always been taught 2 spaces after a period by every teacher I ever had who taught, grammar and writing and typing and all that shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's like a shitty take when this is what a lot of people were taught. And I was not old at the time. I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know why your tone is so adversarial about a thing that people just don't know not to do.
I'll tell you, it took me like half a decade to stop doing that.
And you still do it sometimes, and it still annoys your boss.
Yes, right. And still do it sometimes. It became a thing that she would like playfully, kind of rib me about. But like,
Yeah.
it took forever even to just think about it while I'm writing, because it's just such a
Well,
thing you
your
get used to.
entire education, you were taught to do it. Then you have to unlearn something you were trained to do.
Yeah, and it's not just like, oh, I learned it briefly in typing class and then whatever, because you then write things for, the rest of your, school career.
And you went to school for technical writing. Mm-hmm. And no one corrected you on it then.
Yeah, well, you're right. Maybe I don't know. No one did. I don't think I remember that becoming an issue. But the thing is, the people that were teaching me also.
Right. I'm saying, like, it wasn't until 2013 that someone took a look at this and was like, this is a hot take I'm going to spread around, and they did.
Yeah, the point is, Slate, fuck you. I'll never read anything you write ever again.
I hold grudges. I will be honest and say, like, because one person said something, had, like, a real shitty take I didn't like.
That's so
it
weird.
Colors things to me. But it's not the only time Slate has had an article that was shitty like that I was like, what the fuck is your problem?
Yeah,
They've also had articles that are fine.
Yeah.
But, like, the fact that whoever's running Slate is like, yeah, that's it. Have that real shitty take. And also, like, it's maybe a little shitty to, like, do detective work into finding out who shit on a phone call. But it's also very funny.
Oh, it's supreme importance. It is
okay.
So good to me.
We spent a lot of time on this.
We could take more time. I could talk about this for hours.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think we're good. I just I wanted to quickly note that I'm trying something new today because I got my new laptop.
Yeah.
And I did all my research for this episode on my laptop.
The Microsoft Surface.
Yes, and put my notes into OneNote, which was really cool because I was handwriting my notes. Yeah. And I mentioned this to you the other day, but like when you're handwriting your notes, you kind of have to have a good idea of like the logical way you want to organize everything because I usually write in pen, and unless I want to rip out a page and reorganize everything and rewrite it down or draw arrows, which is just messy and confusing and looks gross, there's like no good way to do it. And I had a really hard time organizing my thoughts on this one because there were just a lot of different angles. And so OneNote was really cool because I had like blocks of text and could move them wherever I wanted. I could expand it out to the right or left. I could move it above something, below something.
So, of course, when you order your Microsoft Surface, use our promo code GooseChase to save $200 off.
This is not an advertisement for them, but I have really enjoyed using it because it's just made this a lot more convenient.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to say about that. That's it. That's it. But, there is something else.
Yeah.
Before we get into the main episode, I kind of feel like playing a game, but I would really like you to run it.
We don't do that.
Well, I know we don't usually do it, but I thought maybe just as like something special.
That's not our thing. We don't play games.
I know, but I'm like, just roll with me here. I think it might be nice if this time we played a game.
I can't imagine anything fun, but what do you have in mind?
Well, I thought maybe a little game called Trues and Fnews.
Fuck yeah. You mean to tell me why you wouldn't happen to mean
it's time for Trues and Fnews.
Time to play Trues. Everyone's playing famous game, the game that's taken the internet by storm.
It's time for Trues and Fnews.
A Merv Griffin production.
So what the hell is it?
Oh, I thought you were going to explain it.
No, if we're doing this, you propose the game.
Shit, twice in a row.
Yeah.
God damn it. That bit backfired. Trues and Fnews is a fun little game, an internet game sweeping the nation in which you will tell me 3, not headlines because you play it wrong, but news blurbs. True will be false, the Fnews. One will be true, the Trues, and I have to tell you which is which.
Yes, that sure sounds like a game that I could just invent right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Well, let's do it then.
All right.
All right, let's see. Just off the top of my head with no preparation. All right, number 1. In the UK, entrants are lining up to participate online in this year's Dorset Knob Eating Contest, where entrants try to eat as many knobs as fast as they can, including one entrant from Cockermouth.
What's a knob? What's a Dorset knob? What?
I'm sorry. Your reaction is, what are you doing? A Dorset knob.
I don't know what it is, and I'm scared of the answer.
Mystery.
Is it a dick? Is it a blowjob?
Is it actually a dick eating contest?
Yes.
No, it's not a dick eating contest.
All right, well, I'm going to search it.
Don't do it. Nope, don't do it. Don't do it.
It's a food. I didn't actually search. I just got a little indication that it was a food.
This is you cannot Google in the middle of the news quiz.
I just wanted to know what a Dorset knob was, and you weren't telling me.
We are really fired up on caffeine today.
Yes. It's a food. All I saw is that it's a food. I just needed to know that it wasn't a penis.
Never again.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Don't lecture me on the podcast.
Number 2. To help people staying at home, Entenmann's has released the recipe for the classic cherry cheese Danish. But readers are angry that they can't get their hands on calcium propionate, sorbic acid, and sodium propionate.
All right.
Number 3. At a recent Sotheby's auction? You know, the auction people.
It was Sotheby's.
Yeah. Bidders enthusiastically competed over a little-known Monet, raising the price to $34 million. But were all thoroughly embarrassed when the auctioneers realized mid-bidding that the painting was hanging upside down.
Okay, I need a recap on this.
All right. Number 1, dick eating contest. In the UK, entrants are lining up to participate online in this year's Dorset Knob Eating Contest, where entrants try to eat as many knobs as fast as they can, including one entrant from Cockermouth. Number 2. To help people staying at home, Entenmann's releases the recipe for the classic cherry cheese Danish, but readers are angry they can't get their hands on calcium propionate, sorbic acid, and sodium propionate. And number 3, at a recent Sotheby's auction, bidders enthusiastically competed over a little-known Monet, raising the price to $34 million, but were all thoroughly embarrassed when the auctioneers realized mid-bidding that the painting was hanging upside down.
This is a hard one.
Good.
Okay. The first one. Tell me what Dorset knobs are, David. That's my summary. The second one is get these chemicals out of my processed food. The third one I didn't really come up with one for, but
that's all right.
Upside down painting faux pas.
Just drumming my fingers here with anticipation.
Please don't do that.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna say that they probably aren't doing competitions right now because of social distancing, but the article could have been before the social distancing. Can you read that one again?
Okay. In the UK, entrants are lining up to participate online in this year's Dorset Knob Eating Contest.
Online.
Where entrants try to eat as many knobs as fast as they can, including one entrant from Cockermouth. Cockermouth, probably. Cockermouth.
Cockermouth is funnier. You know what? Because I want it to be true, and I know I make this mistake all the time, but I'm going to say that the Dorset knobs are the truth.
You got it.
Really?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you got
Okay, now what is a Dorset knob?
It's so funny to me. So a Dorset knob is just a biscuit. It's just a regular old biscuit.
Okay.
It's a dry biscuit. It's
I
a
was
savory
thinking maybe
biscuit.
it was some kind of mushroom. I did not know what it was, and it was weird, and it upset me.
Well, yeah. How do you think I felt when I first saw a knob eating contest? I was like,
And Cockermouth.
Cockermouth. Yeah, that's an actual place. I looked it up. It's named as it is because of the fact that I think it's the Cocker River literally runs into it. We're out of it. How does a river mouth work? I don't know. But yeah, no, that's a real thing that people are really competing in. Apparently, someone really did a great job in like 2005 or something and hasn't been upstaged since. They ate like 16 of these things in the allotted time.
Wow.
It's because it's a dry biscuit that it's so hard to eat so many of them.
Yeah, it's like eating a bunch of saltines,
Yeah.
except fluffier.
Right. Maybe. I don't even know if it's fluffy. It might be I think it actually is dense.
I think their biscuits are more like our scones.
Yeah, I think.
And their scones are more like our biscuits.
Oh, yeah. It's not a biscuit like we would think of a biscuit.
It's not a sweet biscuit.
It's
like
a
breakfast biscuit. It's like biscuits are kind of like cookies, right?
I think.
Yes, biscuits are cookies. That's what it is. Wow. Oof.
Wow. To anyone listening in the UK.
There's not.
Yeah, there's not. But boy, if there were.
And we know why. Ignorant Americans.
We did say knob eating so many times that someone might have turned it off by now. But then that's their contest over there. You know what?
Good for them. Gobble that knob.
Knob gobblers unite.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, that was.
I won.
Yeah, they're doing it online too, which my first thought was there's a real likelihood that someone could cheat.
They have to do it live.
Yeah, they have to do it live, but also if they
have
find
to
a way to
provide
soften
their own
that
biscuits.
if they soften that biscuit up somehow,
don't you dare soften that biscuit.
There's no quality control with the biscuit.
Yeah.
Dorset knob.
It's okay. People also are like doing their own like 5Ks. And like, have you heard of this?
Yeah.
You could sign up for a 5K where you run by yourself and they send you a shirt and you pay them like $20 or $40 for them to send you a shirt that you could just buy.
Yeah.
Or make yourself. And you just run by yourself.
Yeah. No one can verify that you did it.
Right.
So you just, I did it. Where's my shirt? I'll pay for it.
Right.
Thanks for the shirt. I just bought a shirt.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
Anyway.
Why don't we take a break?
All right, little break.
A little break, and then we will come back with the main segment for this episode.
All right.
All right. Stick around.
And we're back. First, I just want to say that I apologize for my near Googling, and I promise to you and our listeners that I will not do that again.
Really, the thing is, you almost were, subjected to an unexpected penis. You start Googling knobs.
Oh, I expected a penis. That was the problem.
It's true. You actually were searching for penis,
yes.
Not knowing there was no penis to be found.
That really, there was just a biscuit.
I don't know why that's really funny to me. I was looking for penis. All I
Just
found was
got
a
a
biscuit.
biscuit.
The Kristy Davenport story?
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, why don't we, what are we talking about?
This week, we are talking about a person.
Oh. Okay, the caffeine is influencing
It's really
this
getting you.
a lot. Okay.
The thing we are talking about this week is not a thing, but a person.
I'm pert
And
happy.
that's what I'm talking about.
The story about this story is that it's about a person.
This is episode 201. Wait, yeah? 202, right?
Did you just jump us forward 100 episodes?
I did. 102.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally got that label
You
wrong.
skipped the next year and a half.
Yeah, I got the 2 and the 1 in the wrong spot. You're right. I did jump us like 100 episodes. We're just gonna save this one until 201, and we'll do something else.
I was kind of thinking we could do the 200 to 300 episodes, and then come back and do the 100 to 200 episodes.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Really mess it up.
So the topic this week is a person named Be Scofield. Last name or first name B-E, last name Scofield, but it appears to be pronounced Sheffield.
First name B? Like the verb?
Yes, like short for Beyonce.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or Beatrice or Beetle.
B-E.
B-E, just B-E, not B-E-A or...
Okay.
So Be Scofield, the Guru Hunter.
The Guru Hunter.
Yes. So as true crime enthusiasts and two people intrigued by the personality traits that allow people to prey on others, some of our personal favorite episodes that we've done and our most popular episodes are about cults.
Yep. Definitely.
Like NXIVM, Synanon, Enthusiastic Sobriety, Teal Swan.
Landmark Forum is still blowing up.
Just to name a few.
Yeah.
And some of our favorite people to talk about, or at least mine, are those who make a point to tackle cults head on and those who know what it's like to get sucked in, survive, and help others escape, like Steve Hassan, one of my favorite human beings.
He's the deprogrammer.
Yes. He used to be part of the Moonies, and now he helps people get out of cults and MLMs and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So when I stumbled upon this article about Be Scofield, I was immediately intrigued and a little bit surprised that we didn't already know about her.
Never heard that name.
So this article that I originally found is from the spinoff, and the headline is "Meet Guru Hunter Be Scofield, Scourge of Cult Leaders Around the World," by Anke Richter.
Okay.
So Be Scofield, aka Shakti Hunter, we'll come back to that. She's a 38-year-old journalist who has made it her mission to expose up-and-coming cults on the rise, especially those guilty of sexually abusing and otherwise abusing their members. She identifies as trans and queer and points out that she could be shooting herself in the foot by targeting groups whose ideologies fall on the left, but feels that someone needs to do it.
All right.
Finding info on her was difficult. There were like a couple articles about her or that mentioned her, but it felt very recursive because so much of the information that was easily available seems to come directly from one of her many websites.
Okay.
And what doesn't come from her website, with the exception of the above article and one or two more, is not necessarily positive. And when that's the case, I have to like consider my angle and work harder to figure out how objective the information I'm finding is.
This seemed like your biggest challenge this episode is trying to figure out what you trust and from who.
Well, like I just mentioned Steve Hassan, like the kind of people who do this kind of thing, like take on the cults and harmful groups.
Yeah.
Normally I would gravitate towards them and be like, yes, I'm on board. But immediately with this one, judging by the tone of the original article I saw and the lack of other information, where that information was coming from, I was immediately confused.
Okay.
Like I couldn't jump on board and be like, yes, this person. I was like, okay, I want to be on board.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's where the trouble lies with this. So I mentioned she has multiple websites, so I want to go through what some of those are.
Yeah.
One is decolonizingyoga.com. It was created in 2013 to unify those protesting the Yoga Journal Conference at the Hyatt in San Francisco. And it seemed like there were some issues with like the staff of the Hyatt being underpaid and treated poorly, and there were a lot of issues surrounding this conference and the way it was being handled.
Okay.
And then this website remained active thereafter to highlight the voices of queer people, people of color, disability activists, and more in relationship to yoga, spirituality, and social justice. That's like directly pulled from the website itself.
This is a real specific, like, it just strikes me that like this is like a specific take on a specific event in a specific industry. It's like so narrow.
But considering that she is someone who identifies as trans and queer, it could make sense if she is into. I get the feeling she is into kind of new age things, and that's how she like has found herself in the position of kind of infiltrating these groups.
Okay.
So it would make sense that she could have a website dedicated to, you know, relationship to yoga of people who are marginalized. Mm-hmm. The second one, second website is the Guru Magazine or gurumag.com. That's hers. She publishes her articles there. There don't seem to be articles by anybody else. A statement does appear on the About page, and this is important. It'll come back later. But it says, note, this site is hosted internationally. It's hosted in Iceland, and thus cannot be subjected to DMCA copyright claims or claims of harassment or defamation to the host. It is also protected by Cloudflare, which hides the IP and host and makes it very difficult to hack. Videos are hosted privately. See www.bescofield.com, another website, for more about the founder, Be Scofield.
That sounds like good practice if you're like in the business of trying to take down people that might be litigious.
It does. It's done for a specific reason. It makes sense, and we'll come back to it later. Contact ShaktiHunter123@gmail.com. Feel free to send story suggestions, comments, or feedback. It's been mentioned elsewhere that she doesn't even look into a group unless she has like 4 different sources making claims about it being a problem, or she has experienced it herself.
Okay.
So then if you go to bescofield.com, the BESCOFIELD.com, gives some info about her and her work. It has a link for press, which of course is all positive. Has her articles there again. It has a place to donate. Although it doesn't have she has a Patreon, but it doesn't have her Patreon listed there, which I just think is kind of weird.
Yeah, like
but
if you're
gonna have one, why wouldn't it be on your donate page? But regardless, it's not that important. And a contact email again, which is the same one, ShaktiHunter123. There's lots of stuff on her website. And I think I get to that more, but all this stuff, like I said, it's recursive. It all directs back to her other sites and her articles. And
it's funny. We were just talking today about Dwayne the Great Writer, that episode, and how that was kind of like a similar thing of like all of these different, like tons of little islands of web properties.
The difference with this is I know who the author is and I know who owns the sites. It's her. Like she's not hiding that it's her.
Sure.
But it's just like, why do you have 5 different websites? Consolidate.
Yeah,
the fees have to be outrageous. So she does have a Patreon with 10 patrons. Seems like she gets $38 a month, so she's not bringing in a bunch of money from that.
Okay.
She
how did you find this person?
That article. I don't even remember how I came across it, but that original article.
Okay.
And it does seem like she gets donations. She's mentioned in some of her articles that like the way she can keep doing this is from donations, but it doesn't appear to be from Patreon, so they must be going to her other donate pages that she has on her websites. She's also been published in Tikun magazine, TIKUN, and on Alternet. She was at one point published on Medium. Her articles are no longer present there, though tags remain indicating that they were there at one point, and I'll talk about that more later too.
Can we talk about this real quickly? Medium is essentially a place where anyone can post. Is that right?
Yes.
So I always got the impression that they were like a news aggregator or something, but it's really like people's blogs.
Yeah, you can post your own articles there, but they do have community guidelines that you have to follow. So they could take an article down or potentially censor you if you're not following those guidelines, and that's important for later.
Okay.
So she makes many claims about being involved with exposing cult leaders and her work inspiring documentaries and articles by other publications. and other publications using her original work, although those articles don't really necessarily mention her. So it doesn't seem like there's an article that Playboy did about someone she did an expose on, and it doesn't necessarily seem like Playboy mentions her work.
Right.
That could mean that they're not giving credit where credit's due. That could mean that she's inflating her importance a little bit. It seems like the main places she publishes her articles are her own websites, so I tend to question how are people even finding them. But regardless, I have a lot of questions, but she focuses on dangerous cults and abusive practices. Again, specifically smaller groups. She doesn't care about the bigger ones everybody knows about because that's, being focused on.
Yeah.
She cares about smaller ones that are coming up and maybe trying to prevent
She can
problems
have,
from
have more
rising.
of an impact on like a small group like that.
She at least claims and has many articles about a lot. One is Mooji, Mooji. There's Yogi Bhajan. And a lot of these have to do with yoga, tantric yoga practices, and we've seen a lot of documentaries and stuff about some of these yogic practices being very abusive and preying on people.
The hot yoga thing in particular.
Yes. So there's also Bentino Massaro, who I'll talk about more in a minute. Teal Swan.
Oh, shit.
And in that original article about her, it makes it sound like she's responsible for like the kind of takedowns on Teal Swan that have happened. We all know it's us.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Obviously, we're the reason, but
No, but there was like a very in-depth investigative podcast on Teal Swan. Had nothing to do with her.
I sort of feel like the stuff that made Teal Swan have to like flee the country and all that, set up in South America or whatever she was, but was the words of her former friends and former associates. Yeah.
And she makes Bee makes claims on her websites about like she does these exposés and takedowns and how she shut down many groups, but it doesn't seem like they're necessarily shut down. They might have changed their practices, they might have moved, but they still seem to be functioning. So I kind of question the veracity of her making these claims of like she's single-handedly doing takedowns. Like she might be putting information out there, and that might be a really good thing, but I don't know how exaggerated that is.
This is sort of, I think, how people grow their careers, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of like outplacing themselves maybe a little bit more, centrally to something than they really were.
Yeah.
So I can see how that works.
Another one she's talked about is the Mad Hatter, or Alex Vartman, who's responsible for New Tantra.
Okay.
And he'll come up again later too. There's more. Be Scofield has gone undercover to investigate some of these groups, which I will get into more later. But aside from that, she has her own personal history with cults. There's one story, Ash Village, Where Dreams Go to Die, recounts her experience at an all-women's eco-urban permaculture community. It's a lot of mumbo-jumbo. In 2015, it was run by Janelle Kapoor, who was exposed for abusing and traumatizing residents and workers for nearly 10 years.
Oh, my God.
So it seems like I'm having a hard time discerning if she naturally becomes involved with these kinds of communities because she is legitimately interested in kind of new age communities. It kind of seems like that's a case, but then she notices instances of abuse and other people tell her about it. Seems like some of the time she is targeting them and kind of infiltrates and does some investigative journalism, and the other parts of the time might just like organically happen that she falls in and then realizes it's not so good.
Yeah.
It's so confusing.
This really, I was going to say, this kind of like blurs the sort of lines between different, I mean, like we always assume.
It just gets more confusing.
We always assume that people are going to go in and do this kind of thing are inherently going to be like skeptics or, people who are like outside that kind of way of thinking.
And we've seen it kind of a lot in like people who leave groups, like the person who left Teal Swan.
Yeah.
She was still into that kind of thing afterwards. She just moved on to another group.
Right.
And my personal take is a lot of these groups, it is a very fine, dicey line between like just being a harmless spiritualistic group and preying upon people. And I feel like a lot of them tend towards the preying on people.
Yeah.
Maybe not even intentionally, but just because that's what they know, because that's what they learned
Right.
from the kind of groups they've been involved in.
It's just, you know.
All these things feed into each other.
Yeah.
Scientology inspired this group, which inspired that group, which inspired this group, and
Yeah.
Scientology was inspired by 10 other groups. Like, it's all the same.
People just get used to ways of thinking and operating that are like, you
Right.
know, sort of more general, don't have anything to do with the specific beliefs of a group. You know, like
Yeah.
you just get used to like, this is a normal way to be, this is a normal way for my relationships to be, and that's why they fall back into
And
the stuff.
people want to be told what to do and what to believe and
Badly.
how to go about it. Because
Badly.
life is confusing and hard, and making your own decisions fucking sucks because you have to take responsibility.
Yeah.
And for someone you trust to come in and be like, don't worry about it. This is what we're doing. This is what you do. This is your role. Here's how you go about it. We'll protect you. We'll take care of you. Blah, blah, blah. It's nice.
Yeah, sure.
It also ends up fucking over a lot of people and ruining their lives.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that all, like, obviously not all groups, not all spiritual communities, not all
Hashtag not all
religions
cults.
are like that. Not all of them are cults, but there's a specific environment in which they grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
So, the second potential cult she was involved in her article, How a Cult Infiltrated the California Institute of Integral Studies. I don't know what integral studies is. It's a term that baffles me. And I, full disclosure, did not get to read that article of hers in its entirety, but I'm really intrigued by it and I will read it. She describes the harrowing account of leaving and exposing a personality cult in her own graduate program she was in 2007. The husband and wife team were fired after a commission was convened to investigate. They found a cult-like atmosphere in which patients were in danger. Now, that's a quote from her website.
Okay.
She seems to mention that the human potential movement was involved, which is something I've heard about before, but don't know a whole lot about. And the little bit of the article I did glean, it sounds like her and like 3 or 4 other students were really troubled by the things that were happening. They spoke to the university about it, and an ombudsman person was put in, and they did like an investigation. Ombuds person.
I don't know what that is.
It's kind of like a committee leader.
Yeah.
You hear about it in like small communities when a project needs done or an investigation needs done. An ombudsman and ombudsperson was put in, and it seems like maybe didn't do a whole lot, and then B became more involved and did more investigation. This is all according to her. Yeah. It's her take, so who knows?
Yeah.
I do want to look into that more fully, and maybe I'll do an episode just on that. There's so much here.
One of the things that strikes me is these claims can probably be checked against, you know, like newspapers or even student newspapers.
It's just the fact that there's 20 different claims to look at, because there's like 20 different cults that she's claimed to take down. It's like, where do I fucking start?
Yeah.
And all of those could be episodes on their own, which is where this became a lot to do, because it's like, how am I verifying? Normally I would do a whole entire episode on one of these groups, and now I'm supposed to like verify all these claims about 20 different groups.
Yeah.
But that article from her is called How a Cult Infiltrated the California Institute of Integral Studies. If you want to look at what she read, I am going to look into that further because I am very intrigued.
I just want to know what integral studies are.
Me too. I was just going to say, Allison, you know what integral studies are. So, moving forward a bit. One of the gurus that Be Sheffield has exposed is Bentinho Massaro. Bentinho, last name Massaro, Massaro,
Okay.
aka Tech Bro Guru.
Tech Bro Guru.
So you know how Teal Swan has kind of like, she grew her group online and YouTube. This is another person along those lines.
Okay.
Like we see more of these groups coming up on the internet and like very decentralized. So Bentinho Massaro is originally from Holland. He grew up with parents who would embrace New Age ideologies and pass this on to him. So from a young age, he was a searcher. As a teenager, these interests continued and eventually led to his spiritual voyage in India. Voyage. Upon returning to his parents' home, he started uploading videos to YouTube about spirituality, seeming to have, like, you know, found some answers on his travels. And people started following him and were taken in by his charismatic personality and his beliefs. So he's young, physically attractive, tech savvy, spiritually savvy. He's used his social media prowess to build his brand. And he focuses on two main lessons. The first, this is a quote from an article The Guardian did on him. The strange hypnotic world. Oh, I'm missing the whole article name here, but
okay.
You can look up Guardian article on Bentino Massaro.
Yeah.
And they do mention Be Scofield in it.
Okay.
On her site, one of her sites, she says that they she makes it sound like they focus on her. They mention her like once or twice, but it's about him.
I'm seeing a little bit of a pattern of.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, this is a quote from the Guardian article. The first was that achieving a state of enlightenment was possible without meditation or intense self-reflection. You simply had to become aware of your awareness. Easy peasy.
Oh, now that you mentioned that. Yeah.
Already there.
What does it even mean?
Absolutely nothing.
Becoming aware of awareness I don't think it means anything.
The second was a re-articulation of the law of attraction made famous by Rhonda Byrne in her 2010 bestseller, The Secret, which posited that thoughts have a magnetic pull that physically attracts similar energies from the universe. So if you want something to happen, the best thing to do is to verbalize it out loud, and it will happen. It will come to you. If you're negative, you'll get bad things. If you're positive, you'll get positive things. Life doesn't work like that. Everyone gets shit. Some people are happier with the shit they get than others.
A shit sandwich for everyone. That's so funny. Anyway.
So then he moved to Sedona with some like-minded early followers that refer to themselves as Trinfinity. Eventually, he moved towards a more commercial approach, during which time he focused on expanding his reach and successfully grew his brand. In order to do that, he did things like introducing a hierarchy to the lessons. So like many of his original videos were still free, but then the new ones would be behind some kind of paywall.
Boy, this sounds familiar.
That's how these things go for his more devoted followers.
Yeah.
These changes alienated some of his original devoted followers who did not think of him as their guru, but more of like an equal partner in spiritual exploration. And it seems like one of the former members said something to the extent of like, he at one point was getting a little too big for his britches and was like, well, you have to accept me as your guru or we're done. And she's like, well, you're not my guru. And they kind of went their separate ways. And that was in the middle of him rebranding and, increasing his reach. So before, okay, hold on. Missed my place there. So he forged on, started putting on retreats, and the largest of which was called the Sedona Experiment 2, which took place in Sedona. Want to guess how much a ticket cost?
Oh gosh, so I don't know.
It does seem like it was many days. So this actually might not be too bad if it was for the whole
Let's say $400.
$1,199 per ticket. But it could have been like a several day, maybe even a couple week event.
Oh, okay.
Thing. So who knows?
I was going to say, it's hard to guess.
But still, that is a little pricey.
Yeah, a little bit.
If that was too steep, though, followers could attend online for a more affordable rate. I don't know what that more affordable rate was. Still too much.
Yeah, probably. No, definitely.
Be Scofield's article on this is on her website, gurumag.com. It's called Tech Bro Guru Inside the Sedona Cult of Bentino Massaro.
Okay.
Before this event, Be Scofield herself had moved to Sedona. And the way that original article I mentioned makes it sound is like she moved to Sedona and was going about her normal business. And she had moved there partly because it seems to be a hotbed of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But someone just came up to her and invited her to a meeting kind of thing. And so she almost immediately catches wind of this group and starts attending events under the name Shakti Hunter.
Now, this is how The Guardian portrays it?
No, the original article about Be Scofield that I mentioned.
Oh,
the one that
right, the one that started
to her.
all this. Okay.
Yes. So she went to this meeting, and once she saw enough evidence firsthand, she concluded this group was a cult and wrote an article and published it on Medium. It was eventually removed for violating Medium's policy of uploading recordings without the individual's consent. Oh. These were recordings of Bentino and his followers. She has since been banned from Medium, and I talk more about the reasons later, or whether it was actually a ban or whether it was her choice and all those things.
Yeah.
Quick trigger warning. There will be mentions of suicide, so 20 seconds or so. Skip ahead 20 seconds if you're not cool with hearing that. I'm not going to be too graphic about it, but it exists. Starting now. So after this article, the Sedona Experiment 2 still went on. However, about midway through, I think it was 6 days in, one of the attendees, Brent Wilkins, drove to a nearby bridge and jumped. He left a suicide note in his car, and he did not survive. Bentino left Sedona shortly after, though he hasn't stopped sharing videos of his messages on YouTube. There's some as recently as there were some in April. He talks about COVID-19 and what you can do during these times and all that.
I wonder what he thinks we can do during these times.
I tried to listen to some of it. It's just spiritual mumbo jumbo to me.
Right.
It meant absolutely nothing to me. And the person who wrote the Guardian article mentioned trying to watch a bunch of his videos and it being impenetrable because it was language and jargon it's a problem with investigating a lot of these groups.
We've talked about this before, but
I had that problem with David Icke.
Yeah, once they form a language and a universe so of their own, you can't refute. You can't even.
If you're not already there, there's a threshold you have to already meet to be able to get into these people, which is some core beliefs you already adhere to.
It's a complete alternate
I'm
reality.
not a spiritual person in that way, so it just it's over my head, and it was over the head of the person who wrote the article. Sure. I'm glad they were honest about that, because I was like, yes, that's a problem.
I think over my head is not the right expression. It's well beneath all of us.
True. It's not that it's a high concept I can't grasp. It's that it's
nonsense.
It's a spider web of mumbo jumbo.
Right.
So, where was I at here? Yeah, so Bentino left shortly thereafter. He hasn't stopped sharing those videos on YouTube and other social media. Mm-hmm. Okay, so one of the things that I take issue with B, she talks herself up a lot, which you have to do.
Yeah,
but it just seems like a lot. Considering the number of websites she has and the claims that she makes and the way that she talks, it just is weird to me. Mm-hmm. So here's a quote from one of her websites. I think this is bescofield.com.
Okay. Be
Scofield is one of the most prominent reporters in the world exposing cults. She has traveled the country mysteriously, ending up discovering cults or abusive leaders and exposing them. Mysteriously. She's not trying. It just seems to happen.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, I mentioned that again later. Her independently published articles have over 1 million views in the last 1 to 2 years and have led to international coverage, documentaries, and the shutting down of some of the largest cults in the world. Stories based on her work have appeared on CNN, The Guardian, The Daily Mail, Playboy, Vice, CBC, DZ, The New Zealand Herald, and more. She's represented by the prestigious United Talent Agency. That's all the blurb says about that, but I read somewhere else that someone supposedly bought the rights to one of her stories and might be making a movie of it.
Okay, but even just evaluating that,
it's a lot.
It's too much to. One of the most prominent.
Yes.
Considering why does no one know?
Right. Considering the only thing I could find out about you was mostly from your own websites and people who seem to be very on your side.
I get put your best foot forward, but this is
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a little bit much.
She has investigated a lot of groups. I mentioned some of them earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe she is just a really good journalist, but she seems to act independently. She often describes herself as rogue. Her articles are self-published and hosted. Even the best journalists, without the support of an organization and the resources, connections, and protections, and money, since she claims to make none from her articles, would fail to be as prolific as she is.
Yeah.
She says she gets donations, but if everything is recursive and comes back to her website, how are people even hearing about her to donate?
Yeah.
She also talks as though these opportunities to infiltrate and investigate shady groups just fall into her lap mysteriously.
Yeah.
Like she's not trying to do it. She just mysteriously busts up cults.
Whoops. Uh-oh.
Tripped into the middle of Bentina Massaro's cult in Sedona. My bad.
I was trying to hang a frame on the wall and I accidentally destroyed an international cult.
And some of these take place in like Thailand and stuff. It's not like it's just like somewhere she would normally be.
Yeah.
Cults and harmful groups of people are more prevalent than we think, especially in certain New Age circles. But again, you kind of have to be trying in order to be that prolific. Mm-hmm. She has detractors. So her exposés. Oh, I kind of skipped one of the groups.
Yeah.
That she has mentioned earlier, and it's important for this next part. I did not mention Aravinda Himadra.
Okay.
He is the leader of a group that was formerly known as Children of the Light cult on Orcas Island. And
why the names always have to be so creepy?
I know. The death of a member called Carla Jean Schaefer. In 2013, Be Scofield says she was the first to break the story about the depth of Oh, no, that was someone else. In 2013, she was the first to break the story about the depth of transphobia within Derek Jensen's Deep Green Resistance movement. Okay. It's a whole different thing, but she broke the story about Carla Jean Schaefer and Orcas Island and Aravinda Himadra. And that is important right now because, where was I? Okay. Her expose on him invited legal trouble. In June, Sounds True author and meditation teacher Aravinda Himadra filed a U.S. $250,000 defamation lawsuit against Sheffield.
Here we go.
Alleging she had lied and acted with reckless disregard of the truth in a January 2019 article that explored the mysterious deaths of one of Himadra's students 13 years ago on Orcas Island in Washington, where the master of the spiritual group Sambodha, formerly known as Children of the Light, owns a home.
Okay.
So that lawsuit was eventually dismissed. Her lawyer helped her pro bono. So that's
really
important to know. She did not pay her lawyer. They took it on pro bono for whatever reason.
That's really, I mean, that kind of says a lot. If you're like the most prominent,
well, she says she's basically poor. She doesn't make money from her articles. She's doing this because she believes in doing it, supposedly. Okay. But all of this, the travel, the moving, the investigating, the just living daily life, it takes money.
Yeah,
and
yes.
I doubt that she's getting that many donations. Unless she has one person who's funding her, or she's independently wealthy, or is
benefactor.
Doing something else for money. And none of that is mentioned.
Yeah. It's this explains to me though why her website is like hosted in Iceland or wherever it is.
That is why I mentioned it'll come back later. Yeah. That is why she made her Guru Mag website and hosted it in Iceland and protected it in that way. Which, if you are legitimately going after cults and stuff, they will try to hit you with a defamation suit. Yeah, you do have to protect yourself.
They'll throw, spurious lawsuits at you just to waste your time.
Yeah, yeah. So, she also has her fair share of other critics. It's hard to fully get a grasp on the origins of their dislike of her. Mm-hmm. It could be valid. Sometimes it feels pointed and very personal. And since they don't provide their full name, or maybe even real name, it's hard to figure out who they are or what personal beef they have with her, if any. Mm-hmm. One of these is cultureorcult.com. It's a website. Robert B. is the writer that writes most about her on there. Seems to be, I don't know if he's the owner of the site or not, but he writes on there pretty often. He mentions having other people writing for them. They write about a lot of things like MLMs and Trump supporters, but also write a lot about Be. They seem to believe that, yes, some things like MLMs have the potential to be harmful, but there are lots of new spiritual ideas coming up, and these are sometimes shut down immediately with the cult label, and that's Be's whole thing. They also suggest she has a cult-like following herself.
Oh, that's interesting.
They describe themselves as academics dedicated to identifying culture versus cult. It seems to be open to people sharing their own stories and cautionary tales. I feel like maybe at one point she shared her stories there, but they disliked and feared her tactics and potential lawsuits, and maybe didn't agree with her conclusions of some groups being cults that they didn't think were cults.
Okay.
And they aren't the only ones who have issues with their tactics, hence her eventual separation from Medium.
Yeah.
This culture or cult thing comes up a lot when you look into this. A lot of groups who identify as cult will parade that like, oh, cult's just short for culture.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, maybe initially, but now it means dangerous group.
That's actually the first time I've ever heard that, and I'm fearful of how effective that might be.
Yeah. So there seems to be a very thin line of like, until enough people come forward and be like, no, yeah, this new age group hurt me. There are pretty staunch defenders of like, it's just a spiritual group.
Well, this is a thing that cults have to insulate themselves against already, and they have like a lot of ways of doing that.
And among people who believe certain things that they probably get flack for from, everyone else who doesn't, from skeptics and people who aren't spiritual, are defensive.
Scientology declares people SPs, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you can't trust them.
And even if it's not a harmful group, people will get defensive if you're like, oh, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
Why do you think that? If they're questioned at all, they go on edge. And I'm not saying that they're wrong about their feelings on Be, because I just don't know. But they do seem on the offense a little bit on this. And the whole site seems to be like, well, yeah, share your stories of like your experiences, but also like this is a discussion of what's a cult and what's culture. So maybe we decide a little bit of if you're right or wrong.
Oh, okay.
Which is like, if I had a personal experience, a negative experience in a group and felt I was abused, am I really going to want to put it on a website that's like, we're discussing if it's culture or if it's really a cult? Like, that doesn't invite an environment. It doesn't feel like an environment where I'd feel safe posting that.
No, I don't think so either. I think no one, you don't want to go somewhere like that and risk being invalidated by people.
Yes.
You kind of know what happened to you. You don't need someone to tell you that you were a part of a cult or not.
Right.
Maybe you do.
I tried to look up who owns that, whatchamacallit. Not website, but the...
What?
I tried to look up the owner.
Of the domain?
Of the domain name.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You did a who is search on the domain.
And nothing came of it. They seem to have done the extra step of paying to make their contact info private. Drat is what I wrote. They do have, so a couple of the articles they have by Robert B. One is Be Scofield, the Chosen One. And the other one is Be Scofield, an angry sociopath disguised as a journalist. So I wonder how they feel about her.
Wow. That's like a really pointed statement.
And there's another one called Statement Concerning Email of Be Scofield. And they discuss a rant that was by Be Scofield. She emailed them. They had some kind of communication.
Okay.
And this is according to them, directly from that email from Be. I will unmask anyone involved in this site, and it will haunt each of you forever in making it publicly known the people who have written for this site. You've declared war, lifelong war. You think you can hide behind all this, but you can't. Your identities will be unmasked and put into the world. Jobs and money will be lost. Your reputations will be publicly ruined. You will be found, and you and your families will lose a ton of money.
Well, wait. So what is this in response to exactly?
According to the Culture or Cult site, they had some kind of email exchange.
Yeah.
They did not really... I did not read the whole thing very thoroughly, but they didn't really talk about the origin of it in that article.
That's super important.
But they made a point to put that blurb in from her. It could be a very valid, they could have been attacking her first.
Yeah,
But that's something she said back to them.
Yeah, it's pretty
And they
nasty.
put that on there too. There's another website called baxtersjournal.com. And I also looked this up, but they specifically use a straw man proxy service called Who Is Privacy Corp.
Okay.
So I cannot get information on who owned that domain either.
Yeah.
It's more of a blog. Claims to be ethical journalism, which Culture or Cult does too. Lots and lots of posts specifically about Be. Very pointed. Some posts discussing ideas about what constitutes a cult, pretty similar to the first one. And I have kind of an idea. So because the writing style seems similar and the ideas seem similar and it's pointed at Be and it's ethical journalism and they discuss what's a cult and what's culture. The person who mainly posts about Be on Culture or Cult is Robert B.
Yeah, you said Robert B.
This is Baxter's Journal. Baxter could be a surname, and this could be
Robert
Baxter.
Okay.
I did Google search Robert Baxter. It's a character. I didn't get a real person. I didn't get anything usable from that. It could be a pseudonym.
But they certainly could be related.
A name. This could be the same person.
Yeah.
Seems likely.
That's interesting.
But yeah, this is more of a blog. And they talk a lot about Be Scofield and how she's shit.
Like an outsized amount.
Like almost every post is about Be Scofield.
Oh boy. You know what?
There's a couple that aren't and are more generally about that culture or cult kind of idea, but almost all of them are about Be Scofield.
That would also be a really great way to make yourself seem more important than you are, is to run your own blog about how shitty you are.
That is something I thought about too, of none of this is verifiable.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I would.
This was difficult.
Curious. Now I'm really curious.
I know.
I
want to delve even further if I can.
Yeah. This might be a two-parter.
Yeah. Well, maybe we team up on this and you help me.
Ooh, our first ever team goose chase.
But you went into Dwayne the Great Writer and had to do a two-parter, and it was like you hit wall after wall after wall, and
right.
And looked up domain names and actually got hits. These people were smarter than those people.
Well, yeah, domain privacy is pretty easy to come by if you actually care about it. Mm-hmm. But some people just don't think it's important.
Did and made my life hard. Thank you.
That's really interesting.
So, there is a third person who is a critic of hers. Has a website called Integral World. Again, that integral shit. integralworld.net. Also has joeperez.com. He actually uses his name, which is a little easier. I didn't get to read his stuff too much, but he criticizes her for basically using terms like integral injustice and muckraking the integral thing. I don't know what it is, so I can't speak on if she's right or wrong to do that.
Okay.
But the main article that comes up on his page is criticizing integral abuse, Be Scofield and the culture of adversarial journalism, or Mean Green Scofield. There she goes again. Just kidding. That's in parentheses. Just kidding.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So at first I was like, oh, maybe this is friendly and it's like a prod at her, like a joke.
Yeah.
But then when I started to read it, it was like, no, clearly you dislike the way she goes about things. And that might be justified.
I'm deeply struck by the strangeness of one person with
five websites,
a very limited number of patrons on Patreon, someone who's not making money,
doing things that cost a lot of money to do,
but has also attracted so much hatred, so as to have a blog that's basically all about her.
Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Some communities, although large, are very, very small. Like people who believe in certain New Age concepts, whatever the integral thing is. Like, that she went to school for that.
That seems important now.
It might be a pretty small community when all is said and done.
Yeah.
So if you're taking on the facets of a community like that you were once a very big part of, you might gain the ire of quite a few people who know you fairly well. So I don't want to dismiss that out of hand, but it's something to look into further. Just to say a little bit about Joe Prez, it does seem like he is involved in queer and trans interests, and the integral scene and integral abuse. He uses the term integral scene, and I'm like, I don't know what this means. Earlier when you heard me go, I don't know what this means.
No, yeah.
I don't know that's why. So I want to jump back real quick to the whole medium thing.
Okay.
So some of her critics allege that she was banned from Medium. Her article on Bentino was removed for violating their policy on uploading recordings of subjects, like Bentino and his staff, without their consent. Her article on the Mad Hatter was removed after Medium censored her report. That's according to Be.
Yeah.
She implies that she removed herself from Medium due to that censorship. But tags remain on Medium indicating her articles were once there, but the articles are gone.
Yeah.
If you just stopped writing for them, I would imagine her articles would still be there. It seems likely that Medium got fed up with her not following the rules and took her stuff down.
Right. Okay.
So I just wanted to put a fine point on that, and here's my conclusion.
Okay.
The idea of what Bee does is great.
Yeah.
We believe in protecting people from those who would prey on them. I immediately wanted to have a new hero. I immediately was prepared to be like, yes.
Well,
But
you are a skeptic.
And the first article by Anke Richter, it seems like they run in the same circles. They believe the same kinds of things. And immediately I was like, okay, the tone is weird.
Yeah.
The way you're addressing this is weird. And then that's the only positive article about her. She's mentioned in other articles, but kind of in passing. It was weird. So even after this research and desperately wanting to find a new hero in Be Scofield, something still feels off.
You said Bo.
Bo. Sorry. I love my dog. Be Scofield. Some red flags being her lack of mainstream accessibility and support, her pride in being rogue, her lack of care for following the rules of like the places where she posts her articles, libel laws, etc.
Yeah.
On the one hand, often the villains are protected by those laws, but B is too.
Yeah, right.
So constantly disregarding policies about recording people and sharing recordings and things like that doesn't feel right to me.
I would agree for the most part. Yeah.
Piss off places you can publish so much that the only places your article will appear are on your own websites.
Yeah, which is essentially like pirate radio because it's like...
Yeah, how do you direct people back to you?
Yeah.
I don't know if she has a million reads in 2 years. How?
Yeah.
If in that time period you have alienated a bunch of places you could post your articles.
Yeah.
I go back and forth on this because she is just one person.
Right.
And if she's in the right and just hasn't gotten support, sometimes you become a bit of a vigilante. And that's a complicated position. Because on the one hand, I'm all about justice, but sometimes my sense of justice doesn't necessarily line up with the things in place.
Right.
Because they don't work the way they're supposed to work all the time.
You mean like the rules? The
like, the things you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, being as fair and objective as possible.
Yeah.
When you have a take and you believe you're in the right, it's easy to fudge. It's easy to blur that line.
Yeah.
And I just can't make a conclusion about her that's positive completely.
I could, what the thing is, there's enough circumstantial stuff to question. There's just enough
something feels
for
off.
Doubt. Yeah.
Something feels off.
There's plenty of room for doubt. And I do think that I think that I detect a thread of something narcissistic.
Yes.
That is concerning.
The way she talks herself up.
Yeah.
It's not... So, like, when you write like a cover letter for a job, right?
right.
It's the
Your
same kind of thing.
CV.
You have to write in third person a little bit sometimes. You have to describe yourself.
And you want to put your best foot forward. Everyone does that.
Yes. But
This is more than that.
saying that you are like the most prominent writer on these cults and like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Like, your articles only appear on your own websites. You're absolutely not the most prominent. You're not the biggest person doing this. So, like, to say that is just false.
Yeah, right.
And to make the claims that, like, all these people have used your research, it feels like you Googled the thing that you did the research on.
Yeah.
And then you were like, well, I wrote about this too. So they
obviously took from me.
They took it from me.
Yeah.
But, like, they probably didn't even know that you wrote about it because you only publish it on your own website. Like,
Yeah, right. Like, how would they even get to your information to steal and repurpose it?
or if they do mention her, like, they mention her, like the Guardian's article did. That was a good good article by Bentino Massaro, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's a good article. It's a regular article. It mentions a person involved, Be Scofield.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make her the hero necessarily. It just mentions, like, this is what she did. She wrote an article about him. Things still went on. This ended up happening. She continued to pursue it.
I feel I need to read those articles myself.
The Guardian seems objective.
Yeah.
It mentions her because she was involved. The original article about Anki Rector, it does not seem objective. It has a lot of information in it, but it's a lot of the same information you find on Bee's websites themselves. Again, it's just all very recursive and hard to know what is real or not.
Right.
And like I said, some of her critics throw back that cult term onto her and say she has kind of a cult of personality around her.
I don't know if
I don't know.
Yeah, like, again, do we even know if this person has any followers? Well, other than the handful of people we know are on her Patreon.
Yeah. And like Anka Richter, who's written these articles and stuff like that. But so here's something I'll say. B. Scofield seems like the type of person that maybe would Google her own name or have a Google alert on her own name. Because that would be important to the kind of thing that she does.
Yeah.
So if she sees this, I want to know more. Like, I want to have a conversation. I want to clear up red flags. I want to continue doing research on this because if she's doing what she says she's doing, is exactly the kind of person that I want to talk about and be proud of. But
boy.
I can't. With red flags being there, I can't.
Yeah. I do not. There's just enough room for doubt in the whole thing.
So I invite a conversation, and
boy.
I'm going to continue to do research.
Yeah. Oh boy. I mean, like, I hesitate to invite a conversation with anyone who seems like so scrappy.
Well, it doesn't feel fair to talk about someone and have questions about them and not let them at least have take part in the conversation.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because maybe the questions are easy to answer.
Yeah.
And maybe she can do that. And maybe she'll never hear this. That's fine. Whatever. We're fucking little and no one listens to us but like 5 people.
Right.
Whatever. Maybe we're not important enough for it to matter. And that's okay.
Right.
But this is important to me. Like, this stuff is important to us. It's why we talk about it. We're intrigued by it. We dislike people getting hurt. We dislike people getting preyed upon. And so someone being against that is awesome.
Yeah, right. I mean...
But if they're problematic too, that's also not good.
Yeah, you're right.
So this whole episode got really messy. It was really difficult.
I'm like sitting here like reeling, like, is this even the end of anything? Or
It might not be. We might do further reading and research and come back to it.
Yeah.
We will see what happens. But that's the best conclusion I have right now is that I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yeah.
There was too much to try to look into. I would have to read every article she wrote, and there's a lot.
Yeah.
and try to find objective, more like separate articles about those things and see what they say about it. And like I said, any one of the groups she talks about could be a whole episode of this podcast, and she's talked about like 20.
Right.
And she makes a lot of claims about a lot of people. So it was just too much to expect myself to do that much research.
Yeah.
Do 20 episodes worth of research for one episode. It's
you can't do
impossible.
20 in one. No, you can't do that.
And even if we continue this, that's still not going to happen. But
well,
to be continued, maybe, I think is the conclusion. We'll look further and we'll figure out if there's anything more. But I wanted an easy thing. I saw that article. It was like, that's fucking awesome. And then I went down a rabbit hole that I could not find my way out of.
You opened a real can of worms with this one, Davenport.
I did. Yeah.
I don't know what to think about this.
Yeah.
Obviously, I appreciate the research that you put into it. And I don't think it was possible to have anything other than like still an open question at the end of this.
Big old question marks.
Yeah, but wow. Very, very interesting. And now I feel like I'm going to have to take the dive.
I do think we should do something unprecedented and team up.
Team Goose Chase.
Yeah, because you have skills that I do not have.
Not really.
I think you're better at finding information sometimes than I am.
Not really.
Whatever.
We both have Google, and that's it.
Yeah, but you've done some deep dives that I would not have gone the same direction with, and I appreciate the tactics you take. So
maybe next episode even.
We'll see. We'll reconvene. We'll dive into some of this a little bit more, and we'll try to see what we can find and go from there.
Okay. Well,
sorry there wasn't a real good conclusion on this one.
No.
I wanted there to be, but it was impossible.
I really like that we're in this place for once.
Oh, I fucking hate it. My stomach is just a mess. I also drink coffee, so that's part of it. But I hate not knowing. I hate not knowing how I feel about a person.
Well, you and I go in and give almost everything the benefit of the doubt from the start. And like you said, this is not something you went in like looking to come out with anything disparaging.
But I also get feelings about people. Sure. I also get feelings about like when things just don't jive.
Yeah.
Because I'm skeptical and I don't. I want to believe in people and I am open-minded. I am not necessarily a trusting person off the bat.
I think that's true. I think you approach with the appropriate caution you should have towards other people.
Because I've been hurt. I just smacked my pen against my laptop, putting the pen down. Because
the fuck is the podcast dog doing here?
He jumped the gate, even though there were 3 chairs in front of it. He's impossible. Because I've been in situations from like being a kid when like I thought the best of someone and wanted to help them and then ended up feeling like, oh, hey, they just used me. Mm-hmm. I am not quick to trust. I'm open-minded and I want to think the best of people.
Yeah, you're also not quick to shut people down. You just you keep an open eye.
Yeah, and if I feel like they're like manipulating me or someone else, then I'm not going to be like too keen on them. And something about the way things were written and everything being recursive and directing back to one of her several websites was just like red flag city.
Right. Like this is not the way that, this is not what the top of the mountain looks like.
Yeah. If you are the most prominent writer on this, that's not usually the form it takes.
Very interesting. I feel like we're repeating ourselves a little bit here.
Yes. Let's wrap it up.
I gotta get this dog back upstairs where he belongs. So thank you very much, Kristy, for a shit ton of work and
for making you do some more.
I was gonna say, and for the work I have to do now.
You're welcome.
Thanks. No, this was a really good one. We will be back in 2 weeks with another episode of Goose Chase.
Goose Chase.
If you're listening today, call your mom. Call your mom.
Or don't if that's not a good relationship for you.
Well,
but if so, call your mom.
That. If you like your mom and you're thinking about your mom, call your mom. All right. We will see you next time. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You've been listening to Goose Chase. We are Goose Chase Podcast on Facebook and Twitter. On Twitter, our handle is @GooseChasePod, and our website is www.goosechasepodcast.com.
If you have any topics you'd like us to research, please email us at goosechasepodcast@gmail.com. If you like what we do on the show, please rate and review us on iTunes and Google Play.
Want to go on a goose chase?
Ooh, yes.